Hi everybody, welcome to this free playthrough for Expert Division of the Winter Major here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Please hit thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Both of those are totally free to do so and they help me out here on YouTube. Full 9 holes here of the Shiruba Springs that we are playing, and bear in mind these are not indicative of the tournament wins, but you may find some similarities, and as always you will need to tweak according to your club's balls and play style. Timestamps in the description down below, and remember these are old replays, so you will see the old ball attribute levels. So what was a power 3 ball is now a power 6 ball, and so on. Good luck, here we go. On this par 4 we're going to start with the quarterback first, white ring touching the rough on the right at P3 max rest. Then we're going to make a bag swap to our APOC and sniper bag. Make sure you've packed the grizzly as well, you'll need it to find the minimum line easily on the approach. Adding spin then once we've done our bag swap, and we're going with 5.8 top spin and no side spin, aiming of course down the middle of the fairway once you've added your top spin. Then we make our adjustment and it's going to be maximum distance with 10% elevation, and we are using power 3 numbers. For me that is approximately I think 6.3 rings from what I remember. And then regardless of our adjust and what club level, we're going to always go with circle break over power. Just gives me a bit extra distance here on this drive, so circle break over power, hitting perfect, no curl, and we're going to roll nicely down the fairway, very consistent yardage of 332 yards. Second shot from the minimum distance line, we're going to add top spin. It's going to be around 1 bar of top spin, but if you get a slightly different drive rollout, it might be a click or two either side. But I'm adding here 1 top spin at the minimum distance line, and I'm wanting the ball guide. As you can see there, it is pointing just going over the left edge of the cup. Just going over the left edge of the cup. Look very carefully at the tip of the ball guide for the right amount of top spin. Then we are adjusting minimum numbers here, so min distance minus 10. Sticking with power 3 numbers, for me that is 6 rings in this wind strength. Centering the ball and hitting perfect, and this one will have a decent chance of dropping even though we have a fairly nasty wind angle off the tee. It is not unattainable to get the eagle, glancing right at the pin. Okay, on this par 3 we're going to add spin, and it's going to be 2.5 back spin, and we're going with 3 bars side spin to the right, and I'm looking at the bottom of the yellow ring. I'm having it touching the bunker, and the tip of the ball guide there, you can see it is going to the right edge of the cup. You'll end up with a little bit of the yellow ring outside the rough, so you've got a few reference points there. Ball guide, like I say, missing right edge of the cup. We're going to adjust 1 to 1. I would recommend you try and keep the wind below 8.2 miles per hour. I've not tested this in higher winds, so 8.1 is my wind strength. I'm going to go 8.1 rings. Now, subject to any wind angle tweaks, of course, this is the middle angle that I'm showing you here, and I'm going with inner wall curl to the right. So the edge of the ball just touching the inner wall of the adjustment ring. Without that, you will miss on the left-hand side, and I don't want to push the landing position any further right. Great right will miss the rough, so use a precision ball if you are worried. Okay, we are going to go with a Titan here, and I'll tell you why a bit later on. This is an NMT shot, so no movement target. So load the hole with the Apocalypse and your Titan, and there you can see I'm adding my spin, and I'm going with 5.8 top spin and 1 left spin. And we're using a Titan, and you will need your Cataclysm or Big Dog for the second shot, whichever gives you the most top spin. Now, the adjustment here is going to be maximum distance with 10% elevation. This is a very tough par 5, and an eagle on this hole is, in my opinion, considered a drop. You will see quite a few players just get a birdie here because it's a long par 5. So max plus 10, no overpower, no curl. Bouncing very nicely on the first fairway, over to the second fairway, and getting a nice roll out here. If you're worried about distance on your second shot or top spin, you could add a smidge of right curl, but I wouldn't want to add too much. It will put you a little bit closer though, if that is a concern. So, second shot, We're going with max top spin available and 1 bar of left spin, stretching out and aiming as shown. Then I'm letting my target fall back to the max rest position and adjusting maximum distance with 5% elevation. Now, after I've adjusted here, I do a small push-up. You don't have to do that. It's all about risk versus reward. I push up 1 ring, which is about 3 yards. That is still going to give me a little bit of a shake on the needle, but a good chance of hitting perfect. If you are confident with max overpower and not worried about great balls, then you could push up further. If not, don't push up at all. Mid wall, curl to the left, perfect ball away. Minor greats have been fine on this shot, to be honest, because we're finding the middle of the fairway. If you can push up more, you will have an easier wedge. Now, from here, I am measuring my green squares short from max distance of my end bringer. Now, I'm 5 green squares short of the pin, counting from the bullseye to the hole. So for 5 green squares short, I'm actually playing this one maximum distance, 25% elevation. Now, if you're a different number of green squares short, you would need to revise your elevation. So I would recommend you take a practice token or two first and test some alternatives. But just as a reference point, 5 green squares short, I'm playing it max plus 25. The good news is here, though, it is pretty much a straight tailwind wedge. So you could over-adjust or under-adjust this one slightly, and providing you've set the ball guide up nicely going into the hole, you're probably still going to drop this one, even if you are slightly off with your adjustment, as long as you pull straight. Perfect ball away, dropping it nicely for the eagle. On this par 3, even though we have headwind, we've got a good chance for a drop. P3 minimum distance line, red ring touching the bunker. Then we're adding spin, 5.5 backspin and 3 bars side spin to the left. So very simple setup here with that ring reference and of course the spin amounts. Once we've done that, found our position, added spin, we're adjusting this one minimum distance, 35% elevation, and we're using power 3 numbers. So min plus 35, power 3, looks like about 8.6 rings for me. Centering the ball and hitting perfect. Now, of course, it might need a wind angle tweak or two, as always with par 3s, but we bounce very nicely. Maybe a click more backspin. We're dropping it a little bit high, but it is just sneaking in for the hole-in-one. We're going to play with the quarterback here and then follow it up with the grizzly. Red ring touching the rough on the right at P3 max rest. Adding spin, 5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right. It's a very simple adjust with our QB. We're going 1 to 1. So 8.3 is my wind strength, and that is how many rings I'm going to adjust. So 8.3 rings. Then we're going to need to play with some right curl here to take ourselves away from the rough. So 3/4 ball curl to the right. And then I'm finding the point where the circle drops and going 1 click before that. So just before circle drop, overpower. Very consistent drive here, bouncing safely on the fairway. And then finding the middle of the fairway here. It's going to roll to around 360, 362 yards. Top white ring pin check is what you need to do here. So have the top of the white ring touching the pin in line with the hole, giving me +2 with the grizzly 9. That will be +5 if you've got the grizzly level 7 or 8. Then we are adding spin, and it's going to be 3.5 top spin only, and we want to have the ball guide going to the pin. Red ring will most likely be touching the rough line, but your primary reference here is the ball guide going to the pin. So for a +2 with grizzly 9, +5 with grizzly 7 or 8, you're going to want to be playing this one 65% on the slider, -10 elevation. This one is an uphill shot. You don't have to use a precision ball. I was doing that obviously to guarantee a perfect, to create the content as quick as I could with my busy schedules. But there you go, 65% slider, -10, centre the ball and hit perfect. Use grizzly 9 numbers here, catching the rough very nicely, getting the nice camera angle, and we're dropping it there for the eagle. Okay, on this par 5, we're going to go blue ring touching the rough with APOC 5 and 6 at the top of +8. 5.8 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. If you've got APOC 4, you will have 30% of the blue ring overlapping the rough, and you'll be at the top of +14 yards instead. The adjustment here is max plus 10, power 3 numbers, and that's the same regardless of the club level that you have. So we're going to make our adjustment here, going to be for me 6.4 rings, or something like that, 6.5, can't quite remember, but always have your wind app ready and calculate yourself. 0.8 ball curl to the left, so look at the edge of the kingmaker touching the inside wall of the adjustment ring, just before circle drop overpower, and we're going to want to hit perfect here, bouncing very nicely on the fairway, clearing the rough and rolling down. It's going to be around 390 yards. Now the second shot, I wasn't quite dropping this for the albatross. It is tweakable, but you should be warned there is a risk of a glitch roll here as well. So I go max top spin with sniper 10, so 6.1 top spin, 2 left spin, ball guide just going through the hole. You could see though when I was setting up this shot, if I was 1 or 2 clicks higher, I was going to get the glitch. So only play if you are happy with the risk. Then I respin and take my left spin amount down from 2 down to 1.2 bars. But like I said, this will need some tweaks if you want the albatross. If you're worried about the glitch roll, for goodness sake, just play safely with less top spin to the fringe and take an easy putt or an end bringer. For a +6 landing position, I'm going 75% slider, minus 25 elevation. This is a risky shot, though great left might be in the bunker. And like I said, there is a risk of a glitch roll. Setup needs a little bit of work if you're wanting to go for the albatross. But I'm giving you a good look at it and you can decide what you want to go with. A little bit short and a little bit to the right on my attempts here. Blast time here in this tailwind. Yellow ring touching the rough at the top of +24. That is with APOC 5 and 6. 5.8 top spin, 2 left spin. You might want to tweak the top spin if you have higher winds, so I would maybe reduce down. If you get the wind in the 11, you might want to go down to 5.5 instead. If you've got APOC 4, P5 max rest, and you'll have just a little bit of the yellow ring overlapping the rough there, the bottom of it. We adjust max +15 power 5 numbers. For me, around 9.2 rings. No push-up needed, not even with APOC 4. And we're going with full overpower. It's a slow needle, and we're going with 0.8 ball left curl. However, like I said, blast shots like this will need some wind angle tweaks, so practice it first if you can. Bouncing on the fairway very nicely, I want to clip the rough and roll out to an end bringer. You can have a normal end bringer shot there, 20% elevation. Hole in one here, we're going for the rough bump, and with sniper 10, top of +0, so just before it ticks over to +1, yellow ring touching the bunker. Sniper 9, you'll be at the top of +2. We are going with a heavy 1 bar of right spin, so go 1 click past 1 right spin and then back, and then we're adding top spin as well, and it was 3.5 bars of top spin. So then it's time to adjust. Mid +25, power 3 settings, and we're going to use sniper 10 numbers. Okay, mid +25, P3 for me, and that is 9 rings. Try and keep the wind below 8.1, 8.2 if you can. It gives you a better drop rate. Centering the ball, hitting perfect. Again, you don't need a precision, but it might put your mind at rest as we're playing a rough bump here. And subject to any wind angle tweaks, got a lovely hole in one. Now I'm going to be cheap here. I'm looking for eagle only on this long par 5, going with a katana and the Thor's hammer. 7.7 top spin and no side spin. You can use the extra mile 9 as well if you haven't got your Thor's hammer to a decent level. You don't have to use a katana either. You could use a kingmaker. But even with Thor's hammer 6, I'm not going to adjust into overpower, and this is kind of mid to high wind. So it's up to you whether you want to treat yourself to a kingmaker. But even with a kingmaker, it's not going to give you an albatross. This is safe eagle. Max +10, power 2, not adjusting into overpower. If you do, add it on to the base amount, which is circle break overpower. So that is your base amount. If you adjust into any, if you have more headwind angle or stronger winds, then add a little bit on as well. But we're clearing it very nicely anyway. And if you don't fancy going with the overpower, you're probably still going to clear it and be okay for the second shot. Second shot here, we're going with the Cataclysm or the big dog. We need topspin and distance. So I'm going to go here with 7 topspin. I'm not going with any more than that because I don't want a glitch roll. And we're going with 3 right spin, aiming centre fairway, giving myself room away from the rough in case I hit a great right. So red ring touching the rough, but look at the second bounce as well, because you might not have the same accuracy club as me. Max plus 0, not playing with any other adjustment here, just a generic max plus 0. We're tapping it down there. We're saving a Kingmaker. If you want to save a Kingmaker, of course, if you've got loads of them, you can use one. But max plus 0 for me is about 5.8 rings, I think. Half a ball of curl to the right. No overpower. Hit perfect. And we're going to bounce very comfortably before the rough. Not threatening the rough. Not threatening the bunker. And we're rolling towards the green. Very simple end bringer wedge for our eagle. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.